G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today the big one, what a lot of people want to see as well. How is this going to go? It's the smooth operator from Catalyst Machine Works. If you haven't seen part one, I really encourage you to do that. Usually, I love the flying part. Part twos are my favorite, to get out with your mates, fly around. They are so much fun. And part one, that's all about the learning, the tech. Go watch the part one of this, because the design of this thing, what Catalyst Machine Works has done and taken what they've learned into an ultimate freestyle rig, is outstanding. If you haven't seen that, go watch that video now. It should be linked up here. But now, this is the part two. Let's take it out to the field, fly it around. I'll show you some freestyle footage. Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, we'll see what they think of it. And also, I should mention it, there's not going to be a speed run, because this is a freestyle rig that's not made to do racing, straight line racing or anything like that. So we're just going to go have some fun and find out how does the smooth operator from Catalyst Machine Works go, because on the bench, it has some amazing design qualities. Let's do it. Let's go have some fun in 3, 2, 1. Rightio, we're out here in the field, about to fly around the smooth operator. I'm pretty excited. We're going to do some freestyle, smooth flowing flights. So not really any track flights, no speed run. Then we're going to hand it over to Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, and see what they think as well. So let's do it, put a pack in, and then we'll hand it over to the two grumpy buggers. All right, let's go.
Okie dokie, here we go, on board with some smooth operator footage, and I've got to get some apologies out of the way. So the first one, I've got a really bad cold at the moment, so doing this voiceover, it sounds like I'm talking underwater, I'm sorry. And the second one, I'm not too much of a freestyle pilot. I don't really have the skills to pay the bills when it comes to freestyle or anything like that, just sort of slapping the sticks, going for a bit of a float. But that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate the beauty and ingenuity that's gone into this frame. And what I really like is how it is going to hold up in those crashes. It is made for those bandos to protect your camera, protect your components, and take an absolute beating. And I think freestyle quads, they get the hardest beatings out of them all, because race quads, it's usually around, flags and fields. That's fairly forgiving. Not your bando flyers out there. I know a lot of people seem to be breaking a lot, and this frame takes it to that next level just to help sort of protect that sort of thing in your craft. Now, onto the flight characteristics. It was very, very smooth. It was very, very easy to fly. I had some flow props on here, and what I like is how nicely you can sort of frame the environment. It felt like rock solid, so whatever you're sort of pointing at, it stayed on target. So if you are a great pilot, if you can focus your shots correctly, I think you're going to get some amazing footage out of this thing. Very, very nice to fly around. Flight times weren't as bad as I was expecting, although I wasn't really smashing it, and that's probably something, I guess, due to the type of flying that freestyle pilots do. It's not sort of crazy full throttle most of the time, like a lot of racing quads out there. Now, of course, there was no oscillations, but you wouldn't expect anything less from Catalyst Machine Works, and also the camera that they sent with it was very, very nice. It was very clear to see where you were going, and overall, I think if you're in the market to get a quad that is going to last you, you are going to be doing a bit of freestyle sort of flying. You want some different camera mount options. You want something that protects your components. It's easy to service, very robust, and I guess forgiving in a crash. This thing is going to do wonders. So I would really like to see some really pro pilots flying around with this thing to get some crazy footage and showing people the aftermath of it, because that is my biggest concern with freestyle frames, is they have to be made well to take a crash. And what you often don't see is the tons and tons of components and broken bits of frame that are left behind. But this goes a long way in servicing that. But what we should do, let's head over to Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, see what they think as well about the smooth operator. Almost did a bit of a song, but I won't.
What we're going to do, let's hand this over to Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, but what I need one of you two to do is, I want you to hold the camera so I can show you what this frame is about, because you wouldn't get this when you first look at it. So this whole sort of camera block here, this front part, it's mounted on this really thick part, but it's sort of soft braced in the middle, so it's sort of held into this it's not TPU, it's a little bit heavier, so it's almost got like a shock absorber when it smashes into things.
Wow, that's neat.
There were some other features in here too, like say, they've got this 3mm plate on the bottom, right? And usually you'd lose a bit of room, because when you have a slam deck, it's quite stiff it's quite tricky to get your stuff in there. And then there you've got access to your receiver and your other stuff as well as getting some extra room that's in the middle.
Wow.
So that's something I wanted to show you. And then also, we'll screw this back up before you take it for a burn. You can do the same thing if you want to take off this back piece here, just this back half comes off, you've got access to your flight controller as well. So if you need to do any soldering and things like that.
The flight controller's in the back?
Yeah, the flight controller's at the back as well. So that's just some things I wanted you to be aware of before you, and I'll get your thoughts before you guys took this for a spin. All right, ready to do it? I'll put this back in and we'll hand it over. All right, GT, so this is the smooth operator. I gave you that little bit of a demo, but now after I had to show you those parts, what's your thoughts of it now?
What I like about this, number one thing is they've actually named a quad after me for a change. Little hood thing comes apart. Idea? That's a great idea. They really, you know, these guys think out of the box as well. And again, you know, Catalyst, just to make such a great drone. I mean, yeah, look, it's well built again. It looks really strong. The motors on this thing.
Yeah, they're pretty chunky. They're 2207, so don't expect some long flight times.
No, they've plenty of grunt, nice and climbing. It's going to be great for freestyle, I reckon.
All right, you ready to do it?
Yeah, let's have a go. Yeah, nice. It's very, very sharp camera. Oh, yes. It's quite nice, actually. The props are very, well, not aggressive. They're just doing a few rolls, and it's actually quite nice. Look, I'm pretty limited what I can do in freestyle, but I can do the flips and all that sort of shit, and it really comes out of those nice. I like it. It's very smooth, isn't it, Stu?
Well, it is the smooth operators that are living up to its name.
Well, yeah, good point.
Who would you recommend this to? Because I feel like we're not its ideal audience. You know, we don't really do much freestyle flying.
Look, you got to find it pretty hard to break this frame. So I think really for someone that wants to get into acro, you spend a little bit of money to start with on something like this. If you break this frame, I'd be very surprised. I reckon if you break this, you're going to destroy whatever else you're trying to fly. It's just so chunky, but I tell you what, this is really nice. This is I think this is better for me. It feels better to fly than that Kia.
Oh, with the waffle arms.
Yeah, I know. I really like it. I really do like this. I like the Kia because I did have a bit of float time, but for me, I feel more in control. Oh, that's nice. Yes.
Calvin is way out there making all these dust piles.
Oh, the dust piles.
He's dancing around in the dirt. His quad's out there just...
What, with the snakes?
Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, continue, Trev, sorry.
Yeah, look, and just for me, this is really nice to fly. I feel as if when I do freestyle, I always feel a bit reserved. I worry about the ground, but I feel more in control than I ever have been flying a freestyle type of quad.
Are you worried about breaking this one?
Oh, no way. You said I could crash it into a tree, didn't you?
Well, not on purpose. I actually probably feel the most at ease if you crash that out of any quads that I own.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to hold up well.
And the battery's holding up. I'm not being really aggressive with it. I'm having fun and I'm enjoying the flight I'm having with it. So, yeah, look, I think one good thing about this, if you broke this, you are really trying hard. I don't reckon I could break it. It's really is meaty. And it's nice to fly.
All right, I guess what's your Grumpy Trev rating out of 10 in terms of performance? And I know this is hard to justify for us because we don't know too much.
Well,
I guess for a freestyle rig, how do you feel like it goes?
I really like the Kia for a freestyle. This is really nice. I mean, I did like the Kia as well, but this is flying better.
Do you think this will hold up better in a crash than a Kia?
Oh, yeah. Yep, it will.
I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to run and grab it. Hang on. Right. Alrighty, Trev, there it is. So you were finishing up. What do you reckon for value out of money out of 10?
Look, you've got to be cashed up to buy one of these, but if you can afford it, it's certainly going to save you some bucks, but probably 6.5, 7 for value for money. But other than that, it's a great rig.
Alright, nice. Thanks, Trev. Alright, CTC, the man with the best dance moves in all of FPV. We've got the smooth op. You saw my little demo before. What do you think about this bad boy from Catalyst Machine Works?
Well, it's the most innovative freestyle frame I've yet seen. They've really thought outside of the box and just tried to forget everything that they knew about freestyle design and just start from the ground up.
I'm going to stop you there. They didn't know anything about freestyle. When I watched, when I was talking to the design guys, they were talking how they took everything they knew from racing and then built from there, tried to build a freestyle rig. So maybe that was something to do with it. But yep.
Well, it's nothing like the traditional freestyle frame, put it that way. So they've totally thought outside of the box here and they've come up with something very special. And they've applied a lot of the technology from their previous models to this with the staggered arms, I noticed, and look, a really low body which allows you to get that battery down and close to your flight controller, which is where you want it for the center of gravity and the center of mass. So it's going to be a particularly good flyer, I think, and the way they've set up the cameras, the spaces for the cameras is just incredible too.
What do you think about the sort of shock absorbing part of that?
Yeah, well, that's innovative and unique in and of itself. So, you know, how can you complain about that? If that really is able to soak up a good impact, and you know, if you're flying around bandos or whatever, hitting walls or concrete, that's going to be a very valuable design feature for sure for you, because that's going to save a lot of breakage. It's going to save a lot of breakage to the frame itself and breakage to the cameras. So yeah, that's very much appreciated.
All right, should we take it for a spin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mate, you're ripping that.
Look, it is a smooth operator, I got to say. It's nice and smooth and very controllable. It's not a handful to operate at all, so I like that. Especially if I was, you know, out to get some nice, smooth footage of freestyle flying, this would be an absolutely beautiful rig to do it with. I can't believe how rock solid it is. It is like a gimbal in the sky, like a tripod in the sky almost. It's wow, this is really, really stable. And boy, don't you just love the look of it? The design is just so unique. It looks strong as anything. And you know, the boys at Catalyst Machine Works only make good stuff. So boy, you can't go wrong with this thing.
What about the price though?
I'm not sure exactly what the price is, Stu, but I know it's probably going to be expensive because it's top-notch quality. There's no doubt about it. So look, I'd be prepared to pay top dollar for this because it is a top dollar frame for sure. Does it come in bind and fly or anything, or is it just...
I think, well, this is the part, I'm not too sure at the moment of filming this, but I know the last bind and flies they did were $500, but that was after we did this video. So I'm not sure if Catalyst will make a bind and fly this or not, but I'll put it down below if there is one.
Well, once again, these guys, just like there's a lot of great manufacturers these days, but these guys are at the top of the pile, that's for sure. They're always thinking outside the box, always coming up with new designs and new innovations for the industry. So I take my hat off to Catalyst Machine Works because they've always been ahead of the curve, and they still are. There's no doubt about it. So to come out with a fantastic freestyle rig like this with their first attempt, well, what are they going to come out with next? They've got no room to move anymore because they're just too damn good.
I got a question. Do you think this is the best freestyle rig at the moment?
It's the best one I've ever flown. Look, I haven't flown them all. We haven't tested a lot of freestyle rigs, but out of everything that I have flown, this is the best for sure.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the design and the thoughtfulness and the way it actually performs when I'm flying it. It is smooth. It's rock solid. Like I said, out of all the craft that we have here today, if I wanted to get some nice, smooth, controlled, freestyle footage, this is what I'd be going for sure. I feel like I'm in 110% control with this.
I don't even know how that's mathematically possible, but okay.
It is.
Is it sucking down the juice?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but I haven't been caning it.
He's got to be going okay.
With those big motors, I think will suck the juice a bit, but depending on what kind of motors you stick on, I think it's going to be fine. Obviously, it's a feature of all freestyle frames that they are a bit heavier than racer frames, and that's to be expected, but that helps with the flight characteristics of this style of aircraft. You want that little bit of extra weight to help carry you over the top of objects, to give you that inertial flow, I guess. So no, I think they've nailed it. It's spot on. Everything is well thought out, including, I really appreciate seeing manufacturers who think long and hard about antenna placement, and these guys always seem to do that. They always seem to have just an easy solution, whether it be in TPU or what, that's just elegant and really functional. So, you know, I take my hat off to them for doing that as well. So I can't really criticize this frame. I can't see anything on it to criticize. Look, the only thing I think that is different and unique about this aircraft is where the flight controller is positioned. It's not in the normal center position. It is off to the aft of the craft. But I tell you, I didn't notice any problem with that.
Did you think it was going to be a problem?
I thought it might be. I thought the gyro mightn't be able to pick up dead center on the aircraft, and that may translate into some weird flying characteristics, but I didn't sense any of that at all. It felt like everything was just spot on. So
all All right, Cal's famous 4 words.
The perfect freestyler. And where's mine, Stu? Give me mine.
All right, Neil, Cal's complaining. All right, thanks. Alrighty, so there it is. There's my part 2 review of the Smooth Operator and Catalyst Machine Works. I'm sorry, but I just don't have the skills to do this frame justice in the air. It is a beautiful freestyle rig, and you can tell from the design, everything that's gone in here, they've taken everything they've learned from their race drones, put it in their Smooth Operator, and it is robust to boot. The thickness of this thing, the crash dampening, the easy to get in, out access, the hatches, all that sort of stuff makes it an unbelievable freestyle frame. But I'm going to say it is the best freestyle frame on the market at the moment. And if you're a pilot like me, and well, I feel like I'm still learning and I'm often scared of flying in bandos, this though gives me so much more confidence. You can smash this thing into poles, smash it into concrete, and I think it's going to hold up a lot better than 99% of the other frames on the market. And what I'd really love, I'd love to see like Rotor Riot and some of those other crazy pilots, you know, Steel, some of those other pilots to get their hands on something like this. I know they have their own frames, so there could be some clashes there, but I'm going to say I really love this, and I think anyone who's serious about freestyle, a rig like this, yes, it's expensive, but it's the best you can get at the moment. So hands down, hats off. I love this bad boy. I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop your comments down below. You can tell there is so much cool stuff about the Smooth Operator. Even from a track flyer like myself, I am in love with this drone, and I think big things to come. I can't wait to see where this pushes our hobby, challenges some of the other companies out there. This is taking in a new direction, and they're just stepping up the game, so I can't wait to see the response from some of the others. Very, very cool stuff. Anyway, other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. Drop your smooth comments down below. Leave some love too if you love Catalyst Machine Works. You know, let me know about their customer support. What do you think about them? Because they are, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best companies that supports the pilots, supports the hobby, and they do things right as well. Other than that, all that other stuff, and as always, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAV Futures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.